likely heard and seen it all. Today, we're here to set the record straight and answer those burning questions you might have or you might have been too hesitant to ask before. Now, we aim to make femdom less mysterious and more approachable and a whole lot more fun for everyone. Whether you're new to all of this or looking to expand your understanding, we're glad you're here and we hope you'll walk away with some fresh perspectives. Now, typically, our roadshow travels to different BDSM venues, but Bossel is extra special for us because it's not BDSM specific, which means we're especially excited to be here and open this dialogue with you. Now, before we dive into your questions, we want to make sure we're all sharing the same language. So we'll quickly go over some basic terms and concepts, each of which could be a whole class by themselves. However, we would like to get to your questions, so these explanations are going to be very basic and very brief. Following along still with our slides, what is femdom? Femdom is short for female dominance and refers to a woman who is a dominant partner in BDSM sexual activities and or power exchange. What is a dominant? A dominant describes a partner who takes charge in a consensual power exchange, quite simply. What is BDSM? BDSM is an acronym for bondage, discipline, sadism,
All
masochism,
right,
and
everyone
play.
mute
It's
in
an
the
Lime.
umbrella
game.
term that
Lime,
covers
you
a
playing?
number of kinks and
No, mute on
preferences.
Discord.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
no,
I'll
though.
mute Discord for
Yeah,
now.
Are you,
yeah, mute on Discord. I
BDSM have
mean, my
ethical
bad.
are you
rules.
playing
It's not
Lime?
ethics,
No,
it's
No,
abuse.
okay.
So ethical
Okay,
not
interactions
I
should
today.
be
Not
safe,
today, guys.
I just
agreed
So
Shut
was
up.
the
to,
I
stream.
have
under
stumbled
a safe frame of
upon
mind and
an
with
event,
enthusiastic
and
consent.
it's like
Huh?
So safe, sane, and
a femdom
consensual is a
person doing a
common
PowerPoint.
acronym that is used
Like
for BDSM.
it's like a panel
Oh.
of people.
One of several. And then why femdom? There's a
Okay.
number of reasons why
Is it
women
on
are
Oh.
drawn to
voice?
Yeah,
femdom
it's on
and
voice.
the
I'm
people who
gonna link
serve
it.
them. It's engaging in femdom can be a way to help people
Like on
heal,
That's not
SL
how
on
that
cultivate
works.
SLX.
power within a dynamic. Some are born that way, as Queen just
Wait,
said.
what?
We just got into the game. We were like right
Yeah,
about
fuck
to
Damn it!
it.
play.
They're in a
You
game right
guys,
Avoidance
now.
you
timing.
guys can raid. You guys can
For
raid when it's.
example,
I don't know how long it's gonna be.
effectively subordinate.
So
What's going on?
it's a fanboy giving a presentation on what
Sway
femboys.
No,
postures,
femdom.
gains pleasure.
Oh,
Biological
femdom.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
I
hormones
need to do
release
that.
pleasure
okay.
and release endorphins.
None of you'd like that.
And also, some desire
I
for
think so.
deepened
No,
or
yeah,
wholesome
Nani's not
intimacy
teaching me, so I
and
should go to
exploration in
class.
relationships.
Yeah.
These are some reasons
Yes.
why
Why?
we might choose
Yeah.
femdom, or those some of us might choose femdom. Now, once you're
Thanks for
exploring
sharing, Rudy.
femdom, you'll see there's a no
We'll go
one
there after.
size fit
I'm gonna
all,
record it
and
at
no two
least, so
dominants
I'll be
are the
back.
same.
Yeah.
That's why we've brought together a panel of amazing female dominants, or yeah, dominants, each with their own style and story. Now, speaking of our awesome panelists, let's meet our Mythbusters. Ladies, if you could each take a moment to introduce yourselves, share how Femdom works for you, and your participation in this year's meld. And we'll start with you, Sky.
Thank you, Val. My name is Sky Galileo. I have been a Second Life resident for 19 years. Um, I identify as a human woman, first and foremost, although there are a lot of adjectives that could describe me. Um, I am what I normally refer to as a sensual dominant. I really like to play with concepts around pleasure and control. Um, I have been married in real life for 30 years with my husband for 35. I have been polyamorous and kinky for 20 of those years. Um, as a poly person, I live with my husband and one of his partners, who is also a partner to me. although not a primary partner. Um, and I have two additional partners, one who I've been with for 15 years, the other I've been with for 5. My 5-year partner is my submissive here in Second Life as well as in real life. I was born and raised and continue to live in New Jersey and meet all of the New Jersey requirements. I know where the Stone Pony is, and I have been there. I know all the words to Born to Run. I live one town over from John Bon Jovi and 10 minutes from the Jersey Shore. So that's pretty much the qualifications to live here. I do not answer questions about what exit, nor do I enter into the argument of pork roll versus Taylor ham. Um, I have had the honor this year of being the chair for the education committee for MELD 2025, and I can tell you that we have an absolutely amazing slate of educational content planned. I will also tell you right off the bat that the MELD, the 10-day event, is the best 250 Linden you will ever spend in Second Life, because you will absolutely find things that interest you. You will absolutely find things that keep you thinking and make you learn, as well as great entertainment, great shopping, and lots of fun social activities. I am going to be offering a seminar on chastity play, what it is, how you do it. I'm going to be offering a presentation on putting together a toy bag and some sex toy reviews. I'm going to be doing a live scene negotiation with somebody that I have never played with before. And I'm going to be doing a presentation on finding the right partner, DS edition. So for people who are involved in dominance and submission, we're going to talk a little about relationships. In the MELD Encore, which will be the week following the MELD proper, I'm going to be doing a little discussion called What Does That Even Mean? Where we're going to tackle some labels, and kink certainly has lots of labels, and a seminar called Writing Erotic Content That Doesn't Suck, because in my spare time, yuck, yuck, I write fine erotica. That's smut with a story. And absolutely thrilled to be here. Pass it off.
Thank you, Sky, our resident overachiever with so many things she's doing. Next up, we have Angela.
Thank you very much, Valencia. Can everybody hear me okay? Raise your hands. Say yes. Type number 1. Very good. My name is Madam A or Madam Angela, depending on who you talk to. And I am a high protocol femdom with 25 years experience in the female-led relationships lifestyle and 17 years in Second Life. Trying to bring real life femdom into the virtual world. I was born in Germany, born, raised, adult certified, and then my journey starts at about the age of 19 and spans across the United States, the Czech Republic, the UK, and then winding up back in Germany, which is where I'm currently at in Munich. I thrive on protocol, creativity, dancing, seduction, femdom seduction, gotta love it. But in First Life, my passions include edge play and sadism. And controversially, I don't really engage in that in Second Life, and I do female-led relationship in Second Life. In general, I pretend to write. I love the arts and supporting First Life nonprofits that are in Second Life. I absolutely bury myself in coffee at 4 a.m., in musings and all things stands, so I'm 2 parts candid and 1 part fiction. The MELD, it rocks, and I am around to help anywhere I can. I think I'm co-hosting a few things. Don't ask me what they really are. Wait. Let me think there for a minute. Mistress Master Munch, the newbie. What is the newbie thing? Somebody jump in. Valencia?
Yeah,
What is
the
the
newbie munch and the
newbie munch?
PTSD and
And the
I
co-hosting
mean
the work.
another overachiever we have.
So please show up and go ahead and participate at the melt. And when you meet me at the munch, paint me in the corner. Come ask me to dance. There's stuff going on. So absolutely, and that's it pretty much for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, who has hoes in different area codes and apparently across different countries. Next up, we have Katra.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I am Mix Katra Avalon, a non binary femme multiplicity. I do have a diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder, so my principal pronouns will always be they, them. Otherwise, my pronouns are based in the avatar that I'm wearing, so if you see tits on display, she, her is absolutely fine, I assure you. No one will be offended. I am, first and foremost, a sadomasochist whose principal kink is reaction, along with protocol based service. I have been real life kinky since about 2010, which was about the same time I discovered polyamory. And I have been
Of
doing
course.
educational work on kink and poly with a deeper focus on edge play and leather history since 2015. I was first introduced to the FCC through MELD last year, and since then became an in-house educator at the Trey Naughty Sim here on Second Life. For me, female-led relationships mean just that. While needs are absolutely taken into account so we can find a mutually beneficial common ground, the final choice is left in my hands. That is a lot of responsibility, but it's also so much fun.
Ugh.
So I'll be speaking at the Meld on Monday the 21st on how to approach a top or a dominant with respect so we can do these mutually satisfying things without being treated like carnival rides, and rather appreciated for our unique skills and experience as dominants and as women and femmes. Later on in the conference, I will also be offering a casual munch for switches and those who love them on Wednesday the 24th. And this year, we are getting that wonderful event Meld Encore that was already mentioned. And I will be offering a class on risk mitigation and keeping our boundaries. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. I adore the Meld. It is such a joy and a privilege to be on the education committee this year. Thank you so much, Val.
Thank you, Katra. We are so lucky to have you and to sucker you in from last year. So thanks for taking that bait, sucker.
Are you
Well,
at work?
we're so glad to have you.
No.
Thank you, Katra.
Oh, okay.
Next up is
Do you
Talia.
want to? I was gonna stream it. Do you want Amy to see it?
Hello everyone. Good afternoon.
I don't know if she's around.
Oh.
I am
Oh yeah, always.
a member of the DS community. Have been for since about 2000.
How are you there?
Real life.
I got
and
invited by
SL
Pib.
since about
This guy, 'cause he's
2011.
being
Oh, okay, there's
serious.
furries.
He's being serious, but I invited
Let's see. What
the Johnny
else
Crew.
He's
do
in the
I have to
Femdo.
say? Oh yeah. The dynamic that I specifically
Your
engage in
microphone's being
is
really
mostly Queen to Knight.
Shitty how?
I am a
Yeah,
sensual
I don't care,
sadist.
No, I said shitty how.
And
Oh, it's like cutting out and popping.
I
Like I hear like pop, pop, pop.
don't
pop,
think I
pop, pop,
can
pop.
expand at all
Really?
on anything
Yeah.
else except as far as the Meld is
I
concerned.
hear hers doing
I am
that.
the music manager, so we'll be having live musicians. That'll be singers and
Also your dingle.
guitarists. We'll also be having
Yeah, he
live
won't shut up.
DJs, obviously. DJ B Smooth will be
DJ
DJing
Smooth.
on Monday, and he'll be following the absolutely awesome singer, Jackie
I just heard her
Lefko.
from your end.
So there'll be all kinds of great music, and we have live singers pretty much every other day, and
Live
we have
singers, oh boy.
amazing DJs. So that's what I sort of
Is that who's
handle, is
talking?
keeping the music going.
Also,
Not
hilariously,
not
you
as
could click their,
much as these awesome ladies do,
Their
but
slideshow thing?
just
That's
so you
fucking
can take
great.
a break, process all this information you're going to get from these ladies. You
These
process
ladies.
all that information, and then you can go back and get more. It's just that little break, okay? That's it for me.
Thank you, Talia.
I like how I invited a
underselling
bunch of
yourself,
trolls.
and she organizes our entire music.
I'm just surprised they allow
for
men there.
the entire 10 days.
Well, they gotta have their
and if any
submissives.
of you have worked with artists, you know that's
I know,
not
but I thought they were
usually
talking about like,
task.
here's how we dominate the
To
men,
work
like
with
that kind of
one,
thing. I
let
don't know.
alone
But yeah, also speaking of
several
which, let me like
days.
wear like
Thank you so much, Talia, and thank you, ladies, for
They're acting like
giving
it's
us
so
a bit
deep.
of
That's
texture
the funny
and
part to
context
me.
for this Q&A. Just to give everyone a little overview of what today's event is about, or how it's going to work, I should say. Today's event is in Q&A format. You, the audience, will bring the questions, and our panelists will bring the answers, the truth, the nuance, and probably a story or two. Now, keep in mind, every dominant up here
This is
has
the
their
funny one.
own perspective. There's
I
no
love this
single
picture.
right way to do femdom. There's
Can you
what's
guess
right
she's
for
polyamorous? Can you
and then there's
guess?
everything else. Use today's roadshow as a starting point or continuation for your
Is she
own
the one talking?
personal
No, that's
exploration
this
into
one. This one's the
femdom,
black one.
whether
The other
you
black
plan
one.
to move forward as a participant or an
The one on the very left's talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, we're
She was-
going to
fuck.
be using a discussion tracker today. I'm opening it up, Spuds, so you can get your
This
very
one, that's
eager
that one.
pause
Oh, it's
on
that
it.
bitch.
You put a Q in local if you'd like to pose a question to the
Yes.
panel and get on the
No, no
tracker.
shit.
You
See a
find the
little
tracker right in the
yarmulke?
middle of the
He's got a
runway,
little
like
yarmulke.
almost a straight line directly in front of Angela. Use an R to remove yourself from the tracker if you change your mind.
Fuck
You
Use an
can
R.
also submit questions
What's the slideshow?
anonymously by touching the tracker
Ethics.
and following
Yeah,
the
yeah.
prompts. No one will
Oh,
know
a
who submitted
sane
the
frame
question,
of mind.
not even me.
Why femdom?
So
Why
be
femdom?
brave
Like,
and
this is
ask
so
us
stupid.
anything.
Some people are born that way.
Yeah.
Now, be aware this event is
Shut up.
text is welcome. If you're typing your question, please have it ready.
When I need to cringe out, I zoom out like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And to keep things moving, we'll usually have one panelist answer each question. And I start this portion off with this every
Oh, they got
single
questions.
time, but all the ladies end up chiming in anyway, because you guys
gonna
have
be
such great
chaos.
questions and they have such great information to share. So
Go on,
as
baby.
always, ladies, if a question sparks something for you, feel free to chime in. We'll hear from whoever is willing to share. And to the audience, if you have a question for a specific panelist, be sure to direct your question to her. All right, let's get started. Go ahead and start dropping those cues in local. I usually start us off with a question, but I
That's a
want to
really
go ahead
gross
and
looking
let
hat.
Spud get theirs going. So go
Vibes.
ahead, Spud.
What's Spud gonna say? Where is Spud? He's gotta be one of the true. Oh, here he is. Yeah, he's gotta be one of us.
Okay, Spud says.
Oh my
two
god.
questions.
Yeah, edging and gooning.
What
What?
differentiates edging from gooning?
What?
Secondly, do you feel
Oh my god, I can't.
femdoms are
I can't.
cheapening
I'm
and
cringing.
ruining the fun for the rest of us? I have no idea what gooning is.
Call
so
yourself
I
a
don't know if
dom.
you ladies do, but we might need some more.
Yo, you
I'm gonna
husband,
say,
you should say that.
Okay, Katra, if you could provide
Gooning
a
is
little
like
bit of
edging for pleasure.
education.
Lord, I do.
Edging for pleasure.
Oh, Kacher knows
Yes.
what gooning is.
It is.
So I like chimed in.
In particular,
Oh god, I hate.
I can't wait to hear the
when
explanation of
referring
gooning.
to masturbating for very extended periods.
She googled it. She literally
um,
googled
Oh,
it
yeah,
and was
with
like
the
reading the
goal
textbook
of
definition.
For real.
achieving a sort of trance state,
Ugh, no, shut up.
with or without higher intensity stimulation. Personally,
That's literally like what
I
you would
view
say if you
them
googled it.
Yeah,
as different because
I hate this
edging
one.
is sort of under someone else's.
She's a
direction,
furry, so.
as far as I'm concerned.
I think this is the one that
Um,
Pib's friend
to
with. I'm gonna
me,
ask.
personally,
I mean, they're a furry,
I
so.
Yeah, yeah,
could order a sub to edge themselves. I
How do you
couldn't tell
mean?
them
How's it gonna
what
be? He doesn't know how it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
a kink I have personally necessarily. And frankly, I just dislike the word gooning.
I dislike the word
It
gooning.
feels a little childish to me, if I'm honest. I would rather just.
Well, look at the shit
refer
that
to
she
it
does.
as
Look at the
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
she does, and that makes her uncomfortable.
Agreed.
As far as the second part of that question, since I'm
They're also edging.
already on the mic here, as far
Icon. Let me see her first slide.
as
Oh, she doesn't have one.
the
She's scared.
power
Oh,
there,
of course.
with female financial based domination,
Yeah.
Of course.
I
You
definitely
should just
think
say, of
it
course.
is a kink. I think it's an easier thing to get into online, personally. But it's not actually as common in real world dynamics as people seem to think. It's one of the easiest to attach to a persona, especially if you're already
I'm gonna
a
say,
professional
I gotta, like, chime in.
dominatrix, if you're a cam model,
Everyone's selling feet
if-
pics now, though. I
and
really wanted
if
to, like,
you're
interrupt
already
to,
involved
like,
in
be
the
a
adult
dick.
entertainment
She
industry.
just keeps
for
going.
sure,
Yeah.
But that kind of is just part for the course with that particular subset of domination. But on the whole, I don't think it's as popular or as widespread as sites like FetLife may have you believe. I'll pass the mic.
Can I jump in? Can
I
I
hate
jump
this
in?
song.
What the fuck was that?
Bell.
She's an old
Go
German
for it.
lady.
As far as edging and gooning, well, gooning is like, yeah, that's like a stupid
I
word.
love how seriously they're treating this.
And edging, I think for me, edging, I don't do edging. When I have somebody in my service or if somebody is in my life, other than for fun. And then it's
Well,
a
duh.
matter of
Yeah.
can they control themselves to not have an orgasm and come and shoot into the, shoot the paint off the ceiling type of thing.
What the fuck?
And then, of course, it doesn't always happen, and they come and sperm flies everywhere, and I laugh and I think it's fun, and so it's
Has nothing to do
seeing
with
where
what
the
we're talking
control
about.
is at on
Yep.
their part, not so much for me. I couldn't care less. I don't believe in edging. I don't believe in masturbation control or cum control or or orgasm control or any
So
of that
seriously,
stuff. I
it's
think
so
it's
fucking
way too
hilarious.
much fun to go ahead and yeah. But you can play with it, of course. And as far as Findom, I think we had that at the last roadshow. I don't think they ruin anything for us.
The road show.
They do their thing, we do our thing, and if the two meet, then we show respect to each other, unless they're, of course, morons, but that applies to every person. And as far as pro-dom goes, they serve a purpose, Findom serve a purpose, it's a kink. Kink shaming is not what we do, and
But-
they don't do it for us,
Uh.
and we don't do it for them. So if that is your boat, rock it, go do it, take it out for a spin,
This guy has to be part of the
and
group,
have
right?
fun at it. And if it's not your thing, then don't do it. And it's as
This
simple
guy's
as that.
serious.
Okay, I'm done.
I like
Okay,
this
so
jib.
I just. Oh, wait a minute.
Like this jib. This is gonna go around forever for
I
like
just
hours.
want to, like, real quick.
They want to
I
comment
do
on
not
it. Everyone
believe
wants to
that
comment.
Findom is ruining it for everyone. I think the proliferation that every female dominant is into financial domination is one of the myths that we are working towards getting rid of. Okay, not every female dominant is into financial domination. It is
Woo,
a kink.
preach.
It's a
Fuck
fetish,
you. I hate
like several others. And again, like
And then you're like
said,
on open
if
mic.
that's
you.
your
Oh yeah, I
bag,
keep like checking.
carry it. You know what I mean? As far as edging, it happens to be a personal favorite of mine.
They're all gonna comment on the
uh,
gooning and edging.
The gooning word, yeah, that's just tacky. I don't use that word ever.
Because you're old.
It's
Good to be.
tacky. It's
Yeah,
classless.
she doesn't
No,
get it.
don't use that word.
You wouldn't
Just
get it.
edging is fine.
Get it.
And I think
I love this.
I like everything about it. I also have submissives, and my submissives, I always control their orgasms because, well, it's a part of my control.
This is the kind of
And,
sincerity
so
that like
return.
gooning needs, like it deserves.
Okay,
Like,
so
they're
I
treating
do
it with like the
chess
reverence
play,
that it deserves.
and have been doing that for
Chess
the
you
last 5
play.
years, and it was something
The
I
fuck is that?
kind of
Like chastity belts and
started
shit.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
not a whole lot of. I mean,
oh,
I
don't you go in
certainly
my drinky
understood
crystal
what it was
bug.
and how
Okay.
it worked. And I was
They
willing
act like they're so
to
like experienced, but
try it and be part of it. And I actually have developed great respect and love for it and find it to be a lot of
great
fun
respect.
on a lot of levels. The whole gooning thing, yeah, that word has to go. It's not even descriptive. I mean,
go.
edging really tells you what's going on. I am
They got
keeping
beef
you
with
sexually
gooning,
on the
apparently.
edge. That's why it's called edging.
Oh,
So
nice.
I don't really have anything to say about gooning, except it's not ever going to be part of my vocabulary. And I love the whole edging thing. When I started out in the lifestyle as a submissive, and I loved it as a submissive, and I love it as a dominant. In terms of FinDom, look, here's the bottom line. As long as people are consenting
I love
to
how every single woman had to
whatever
chime in.
agreement they make with someone else, if that is your thing, then do what you're going to do, as the song says. I have no
Song.
interest in FinDom. I do not like it when anyone attempts to pay for things for me or buy me unsolicited gifts, because I am old enough to have a healthy amount of cynicism about why they're doing that.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, good.
And I will very clearly state that putting money into my hands or buying me gifts is absolutely not going to get
Ancient
you any
face.
kind of purchase into my
Hate the people like
attention
refuse to upgrade.
or into
real.
my life, because that's not the way I operate.
Working. I
It's
wonder if
not me at
this
all.
guy's probably serious.
I want to know you as a person. I want to know your mind. I want to know your
Lady,
ethics.
stop
I wanna
talking, Jesus
know
Christ.
as much as
Next
possible
question.
about you, because that is
Something,
what
something
will
good.
make
These
me
women need a man to take
want
control.
you.
Now that one you know is
so
serious.
my one thing about FinDom is,
Yeah, femdom.
just be careful of
This-
scammers, because there are a lot of people out
How you
there
get scammed
who
as the
will
femdom?
Yeah.
promise something in return for tributes, money, gifts, and they never make good on it, because really all they're trying
Get
to
paid
do,
up front.
right, get paid, get gifts, and all that kind of stuff. And we live in a day of ultimate scamming. So my
Ultimate
only thing would be
scamming.
Ultimate
to
scheming.
tell people to be safe.
I like how that
try
dude's
to
there in like
vet
his
as much as
tracksuit with
possible,
shorts and shit. Like what the
and
fuck?
to not
Yeah,
get
this guy's a
taken, because
serious
I don't
guy,
like to
too.
see anybody get taken. At least not that way. And I'm done.
So I have a thought pursuant to that,
Probably not.
Sky, and thank you for bringing that up. I do have a tiny little line somewhere on my profile that has my Second Life wish list, and the associated text does read, "I expect nothing, but gifts may buy my attention."
She had to
But the
comment. She's like,
reason
I'm
that
so
that is
clever.
there-
I'm so clever.
and the reason that's a
You noticed my
warning,
thing
not
I
an
put in my profile.
invitation, is because all that assures is that I am going to start paying attention to you. What happens when you draw my attention is dependent upon your profile and how you present yourself as a person.
This is fucking.
That attention is not necessarily
what's
going
his
to
name?
come with a lot of positive associations. You probably won't get what you want. And it's a gift. Those are non-refundable. Oops, sorry. So come correct and come with respect, or I will take it and probably block you if it comes with a bunch of demands. And that's all I've got to say on that.
Wow, thanks for sharing, ladies. I always love to hear such
This one's
different
a gender.
practices and experiences we have.
A gender.
People, well, we all agree that we hate the word gooning, and that could be because we're all
No, we don't. We don't agree.
Younger people's term, like I said, I never even heard it. So gooning out, and some like edging, some don't. So that's all very interesting. And with FinDom, being the open-minded women that we are, do what you like to do. We're not here to judge you. You can't expect me to do it. I don't have to like it, but I don't have to do it. So who cares? Thank you so much, Spud. Those were great questions. We have an anonymous question now, and I will post it and
Anonymous. Oh,
read
it's gonna be
it.
hilarious.
Anonymous asks,
I hope
when
it's
buying
serious.
a dress, do you prefer to have a wide range of colors or patterns? This is funny because I don't know why it's anonymous.
Yeah, what the
I
fuck?
But who
prefer
wants to
to have
answer?
a wide range of colors and patterns. Thank you very much, as well as a wide range of sizes and mesh bodies. So thanks for the question, whoever asked.
Yep, I'm
Um,
on there too. I always buy fat packs.
and
Fat
see, I
fuck.
am not a fat pack buyer because as much as I might like a dress, I don't want to be wearing the same shape all the time. So I like a variety of
I hope
colors
that's
as well as a variety of
all. I've got
patterns
to chime in.
because I'm likely to buy
I'm hopping off here.
one,
Oh, okay. You don't want to bring her here?
sometimes two, but hardly ever more than three of that particular dress, outfit, whatever it is, gown, um, because it's not simply the variety of color or pattern, it's the actual variety of the look. So I'm not a fat pack owner. I probably have never bought a fat pack in 19 years, except if it was either a sale or a gift.
Oh my god, that's so fair. I also generally don't buy fat packs. Because one, it's kind of expensive for what you wind up with, and I really only tend to wear very particular shades of blue, a couple purples, and most of the range of blacks. Um, I would much rather have modability on the things that I own. I would rather tint it myself because then all of my blacks match, all of my blues match, and it's just a nicer
Duh.
so yeah, modifiability and mix and match over fat packs any day,
Bitch.
unless it's a gift, because I do appreciate having more pieces in my wardrobe.
Well, we listen and we don't judge, but I'm very disappointed in two of you on this stage. I'm not going to say which two, but thank you for sharing, ladies. We have Coco next. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, ladies. Okay, so I am a switch system, and so I have a question along those lines. So, how do you, hi, how do you feel, or how do you handle, um, mm, let me start this way. Being a switch system, my experience has been in going to both dominant and submissive discussions, there being a skittishness around me. Um, and not knowing how I'm going to show up. And which I can kind of understand, especially since I've been at submissive discussions and I've seen individuals who identify as switch tend to advocate for dominance and inside of submissive groups. And I wanted to throat punch, but I was not facilitating, so I was just trying to be as quiet as I possibly could be. And maybe that was my dominance kind
What
of
are you
rearing
talking
up
about?
saying, what the fuck? Sorry. Well, y'all know I curse, but anyway. So, so my question is, um, are any of you like leery about engaging with switches? And if yes, why? If no, do you is there a preference for it, or are you okay with it? How do you engage with the switch, or do you even bother within your dynamics? All right, done.
So I'll jump in. I stated a little while ago that I started off in the lifestyle as a submissive. In the 8 to 10 years that I was a submissive, and while I was kind of making a transition into exploring my own interest in dominance, I was collared to 3 different people. One was a crossover Second Life, real life relationship, and I was collared to that person for 6 years. One of my real life partners, the one who I've been with for 15 years, when we met and started dating, I considered him my dominant. Over time, he has become much more switchy. And obviously, because I have been both a submissive and a dominant, I'm very open to the idea of switching. And so we play in whatever way makes us happy and whatever we're feeling in the moment. And sometimes that means he's in charge, and sometimes it means I'm in charge. And sometimes we just put it all aside and we do whatever the hell we want. I am not leery at all about dating someone who is a switch, because of my own composition and background. The only thing I would say in terms of what you mentioned, Coco, about your experiences at different discussions, I've seen a lot of crap thrown at switches, which I think is completely unfair, and I don't really see it as much in the real life community. And I do want to put in an advertisement because, Katra, if I'm not mistaken, you run a Switch munch on a regular basis. I believe that is correct, which I think is a great idea. I think my only suggestion would be that if you go, there's the advertisement, there you go, Switchcraft on opposite Wednesdays, 6 p.m. at Train Naughty. If you go to something that is catering to submissives, then you should go in a submissive mindset. If you are going something that caters to dominance, you should go in a dominant mindset and not try to steer that discussion or whatever it is. I understand the idea that in Second Life, people want to have you have an identity at their sim that is standard and regular so as not to cause confusion. I don't really know how much confusion it causes, other than, if you go to a femdom sim and the rule is that you have to call everybody who's a female dominant miss or ma'am, and people aren't sure whether you're a dominant or a submissive, that creates confusion.
Well, okay.
I mean, I understand it, and obviously, not the sim owner, don't make the rules. But beyond that, for me, it's okay. If you really identify as a switch and we have great chemistry, well, let's get together and you know what? We'll figure it out.
Do. Can I jump in? Are you done?
Jump on
Plus brat taming.
Yeah. All
Plus
right.
brat taming.
And for me, switching is a foreign concept. I've never been submissive. I don't switch. I don't deal with men, submissive males that are switches. Because they will not get anything out of it. And I believe that any dynamic with me is about compatibility. And since they would have to get that elsewhere, and I don't do poly in that regard, so they would have unfulfilled desires, needs that eventually will rear themselves. And so, therefore, I don't. Um, when I attend a dominant, there's a couple of discussions I attend. Sometimes I go to switch discussions just to learn about them, the mindset. And if I see somebody on a pillow, that means you're there as a submissive, and I expect the conduct becoming for a submissive. If I see them sitting in a chair, then they're there as a dominant. That means then I expect the conduct becoming of a dominant. Um, I know some sims switches go to a femdom sim, and if they go there, they are not submissive. They can't be. Okay, there is. You have to understand. Well, that's the way I look at it. you're confusing people. It doesn't matter if we're confused ourselves or if we're not confused, and within our certain circles, we all understand each other. But when you're going to a femdom sim, when you see a woman, generally speaking, it is expected that she is the femdom. So now, all of a sudden, you are there, the femdom. You bob around, you slap people around, you bark your orders, and then the next day you go there again, and then she is on her knees. So what does that do to the mindset of the submissive people that go there? So I always recommend that you are very conscious about what you do. Don't go there in those type of environments unless you are in that mindset, because you cannot come along as a submissive, go to a discussion, be on a pillow, and then tell me, the femdom, to basically, whatever you're talking about is a bunch of crap. You just can't do that. There's protocol in place. Um, so that's how I look at it. The same with Katra. If Katra shows up with boobs, I'll treat her as a woman. If she doesn't have any boobs, then I'll double check, just to make sure. And if I don't understand, I am her, and then I will ask her, okay. And I know a master actually that is a gender switches. And then I always look at the tag that's above the head. Okay, do I now greet as a female or do I now greet as a male? So we are
On
faced
and
with
on and
that
on and
also
on.
on a regular basis in Second Life, and it behooves us to go ahead and educate ourselves. And IM people actually talk to people and say, "What do you want?" And I tell Katra all the time, "I'm sorry, I'm making a mistake. Oh my God, what did I do?" And Katra turns around and says to me, "No, it's all right, as long as you don't call me late for supper," that type of thing. So, and I'm done.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
okay. Go ahead, Katra.
Thank you, Talia. I will be so quick. Thank you for that, Angela, sincerely. I'm lucky to know quite a few gender and species shapeshifters in my life. Makes it a little bit easier. But no, if there's a particular set of pronouns or a particular title that I need to due to dysphoria or internal switching with my system, it's going to be in a titler. Unless I forget, in which case, what basis do I have to be offended if I did not actively take that position of informing people appropriately? Um, as far as the question, just since I have the mics, I'm quick on this. About switching, it's my personal belief that if you think Dom should not switch, these people probably also have some potentially toxic ideas about what is masculine or feminine, let alone bisexuals or sadomasochists. Switches, I feel, have a balance point between both sides of the slash. They exist on both sides of that line, and sitting right atop it does not make them lesser on either side of the slash. Just like with bisexuals, just like with sadomasochists. And I truly do believe that fluidity is beautiful, and it is a power unto itself. Frankly, don't forget, like, the biggest canyons are dug by rivers flowing as they please. We shape the land and are shaped by it in turn. Doms who switch are no different and are just as beautiful in that fluidity as they are when they remain centered in a single identity. As someone who's poly, as a sadomasochist, as sometimes a switch, we contain multitudes. Some of these multitudes might look contradictory, but the flow is there for the people involved. I am done. I will pass it back to Talia.
Personally, I have no problem with switches. I think they should be allowed to be who they are. I have dealt with several submissive men that are not strictly submissive. Some of them are more on the dominant side, but they're switches and they are, as they like to say, flexible. And I have no problem dealing with them on their level. I'm probably, of the people on the stage, I'm probably the one with the most egalitarian style of dominance. So I have no problem with switches on any level. Thank you.
Switches get stitches. or something like that. But switches are fine. Like who? No one up here anyway. I'm sure it's fine. Anytime I come across like the switch debate, switches. The conversation around switches reminds me of the conversation around bisexuals in the '90s. Like people very much like had a distrust of them for some reason, and I don't get it. Even today, I don't get the distrust around switches. I can understand people maybe being uncertain. You know, we like as humans, we like to put things in boxes and we like to know exactly what they are. And if you're not inside that box, it's time. Like I gotta pause and evaluate. I think it's just maybe that bit of discomfort that people feel that they can't put you in a box, or you're in this box today, but that box tomorrow. You know. Um, but yeah, nothing. I agree with the ladies with what they said. Nothing wrong with switches. We have another anonymous question, and wouldn't you know, it's again about dresses. And thank you for that question, the very lovely Coco. Uh, More dresses, ladies. This time, the perpetrator spoke up. It's from Kaji. What kind of dresses do you prefer to wear, meaning long or short?
Well, I think that depends on the event or the occasion. If it's high formal, it's long. If it's a night out, cocktail wear, then it's short. Uh, I think it really depends on, excuse me for a minute. It depends on the event and occasion. Depends on the woman herself. Some like long dresses. Some don't. Some prefer pants type of outfit, even in those type of events. So I mean, I think it's the clothing styles is so varied, depending on personality, that you can't really narrow it down to long or short.
It's funny
Sometimes it
because
depends on how it fits the body type. Certain dresses look better on certain body types long, and some look better short. So it kind of depends, I think, on the style of dress, as well as the occasion, as well as the person. So it's very subjective. Sorry,
I
Sky, go
no,
ahead.
no, that's okay. I was going to say that 19 years ago in 2006 when I first came to Second Life, the tendency was for gowns. And pretty much every place you go, everybody wore gowns, right? And then we got like flexi skirts because first they were just like big old hoops and they didn't move at all. And then you got
Ah,
flexi skirts and flexi gowns. And but the overall feel I think was much more formal at that time. And things have obviously evolved with the creation of mesh. Um, I like both. Like today, I'm wearing a long gown. Later on tonight, I'll probably be in something short. Depends upon where I'm going, who I'm going with, what the purpose is. Um, because sometimes I'll be with somebody who likes to see some leg or who likes garters, and I love garters and stockings. So sometimes I want to, do that. The one thing I will say, and I will not mention any names at all, but when I was planning my dress for today, I tried on a couple of things that I really love by designers who I frequent, but I noticed that when I stood and walked, the design in the front of the outfit pulled, and I don't like that. I, and I don't know enough about mesh clothing to know how you avoid, like how you make sure that that doesn't happen. But I put on a beautiful gown that had a print on it, and as soon as I started to walk, like where the section was in between my legs, it it looked like it was pulling, like somebody was pulling the pattern on like a piece of chewing gum. And that's I don't see I'm really finicky about the way I look. And so
Could get a more static
put that
animation.
yeah, put that dress back in my inventory because that wasn't what I wanted to appear in. Um But yeah, I mean, I have some everything: skirts, dresses, casuals, gowns. You know, big poofy gowns, very sleek gowns, pants, all of it. Because why not?
My perspective, I feel, is largely the same as Sky. Um, Anyone who saw me at my first meld last year might remember that I have a thing about skin showing. There's really not a better way to put that. However, I am also very finicky about the clothes that I wear and the things that I appear in. A lot of gowns, at least in
This is very
Second Life,
boring.
a lot of longer
I
dresses
want them
are
to be
rigged
funnier.
similarly to pants, which I feel like lends themselves to that sort of stretched look. They move quite oddly to me, which is so sad because I love a long dress in real life. I love feeling the fabric against my legs. Um, a much classier woman than myself once said there's nothing quite so divine as the feel of silk underwear, the touch of soft fox fur, or the slither of a satin skirt.
Ugh.
And if these things happen to appeal to men, well, that's a side issue. I I adhere to that in everything, but I still in Second Life just never quite loved the idea of people being able to see or to touch my skin just casually. So I've unbent some since last year, but at last year's Meld conference, I had a baked on mesh latex cat